Hello, everyone, and welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer. This is a qualifier for the 2023 main tournament. I'm SorcererFinch, and this is the open hard plus mode with the slightly modified item pool. But we're going to go ahead and do this race asynchronously. We're going to rock this. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And we're going to start the countdown. Here we go. We don't start off with any items, but we will go ahead and start the seed in 5, 4, 3. Good luck to everyone else running this. 1. Let's jam. We're at Finch's house. We're gonna go ahead and do. Oh, hey, check it out. It's boots mode. Check it out. We got boots. Love to see it. Oh wait, no. Before we just run. Hold on, one quick tick. All right, we are on the hunt for bombs. Not bombs. So we're gonna start by looking for weapons. If we find weaponry, all right, we'll find a little bit of cash. Yeah, we're just trying to find the 7 crystals, like the regular game. Missed entirely. Let's do escape. 10 bombs. That is good enough to be able to do escape. I think we go ahead and do that now while we've got them. We don't have to do the entirety of escape. And depending on when we find... That was clean dash there. All right. If we can do this. That was pretty clean, actually. By using bombs, we've been practicing trying to use bombs a bit more. That's one of those places where bomb usage really comes into play. All right. Go. There we go. Didn't quite get that one as good as I had hoped, but there is our bottle. Bottle's good, and we're gonna live. We're gonna be fine. Don't find the glove. Let's see. We can take an intentional death. We can do an intentional death to get back to the front. Finch. And Frank, that wasn't quite what we were hoping for. There we go. Okay, so this is a little slower than it could have been. A little slower than it could have been, but overall, this is going to be a pretty quick death warp. We do not. We've got 3 bombs, so that should be good enough for. That should be good enough for the running smack dab into a guard. Perfect, perfect. All right, so we got a couple. Okay. Now is going to be the fun. Of trying to find where are we. Okay, let's just save and quit. Honestly, though, not too shabby. Not too shabby. We are missing out on 3 chests so far. There we go. We did get a good refill on bombs, though, so that'll be okay. Not going to worry about items. And don't forget Bonk Rocks. Don't forget Bonk Rocks, Finch. Do not forget Bonk Rocks. So that was probably a little bit longer than of time than I really wanted to fiddle around for there, especially if this is Lamp. But it does mean that we will be able to full clear. We're going to be able to clear out once we get the back of escape. Like, that will be it for that whole area. All right, it was arrows, so we'll just go ahead and skedaddle. Are you bombs? All right, let's see if Aghanim is required. We do have boots, so it's. All right, so that is the bug net. So up there was the bug net. We do not need the bug net in order to beat the game. Just if we wanted swag. We're good on swag. We're fine on swag. Nope. Don't need arrows. Still want to use a sword. I do not have a sword. We do have randomized sword. So actually, let's talk about the game mode a little bit while we're kind of pathing about. So with Open Hard Plus, we are capped at one bottle, 3 swords. Bow and silver arrows are both separate from each other, so we could pick up silvers before bow. All the logic implications that has. We will not find half magic. If we find the spot with half magic, though, will be a small magic decanter, which will serve as a painful reminder of what could have been. We will also not be finding any armor. No blue mail. No red mail. Oh, there's hookshot, though. We will take hookshot. All right, a little bit more cash. This is looking like we might do a Zora play after this. We don't have Moon Pearl, so we're gonna just have to be a little cautious of how we do that. That would be doable. That would absolutely be doable. And it would clear out another part of the world. I think after this, we save quit. Depending on our money situation, and keeping in mind we are going to be spending even more right here. I mean, maybe the merchant will have, maybe bottle vendor will have cash. Nope, but that is one of the 5 heart containers that are available. Instead of the number of available heart containers has been like cut considerably, so that's good to know. Another heart. Got hook shot, so we could do mini Moldor. All right, we'll see kind of how the rest of Kakariko Village plays out. If we get another 300, or even if we get like 100, I think we go for Zora area. Otherwise, we'll skip. We'll stay in logic for now. And there's our sword. 8 minutes 52. You love to see it not be like the last check in the game. Right, but yeah, welcome to Link the Past Randomizer, where we are racing as Clippy, and can we beat the seed as quickly as we can? The heart will skip out on. There are 48 pieces of heart out in the world. One of the adjustments, all the 1 rupees and 5 rupee drops were removed in favor of pieces of heart. There are 48. of those. We were thinking about. Yeah, no. Let's restart because we're gonna go do. We're gonna just go ahead and do that area. But to do that, let's do a little bit of setup. We're gonna do a little setup here. So what we're gonna do is Houlihan. Go do Houlihan to get ourselves some cash. So to set it up, you go into here, immediately go out. And the goal of Houlihan is to make it so that you force yourself into an invalid Y coordinate, I believe. By doing that, the game doesn't know where to put you, so it puts you in what I call as the Houlihan room. Go. Houlihan room for 225 rupees, and then at the end of it all, it just spits you out here in Link's house. So overall, very handy. Go ahead and do our usual of here. Let's see if we can get our hookshot clip. We can first try. So you can use as you push a block in Link to the Past. Basically, the game acts as if the block doesn't exist temporarily. So you can actually hookshot through it as you're pushing. We will go ahead and pick you up. Go down a little bit so that we can just go ahead and go. Get bombs to the ready. Oh, that was not great. So one thing. Crabs will do 2 hearts of damage to us. So we will actually pick up that heart. All right, good. Hookshot is a great item, though. And we get a bomb refill. We get heart refill. We get the hammer. We get the flippers. Okay, perfect. Actually, that puts Zora area in logic. We made the right decision at this time to be able to check all that. Because we're going to be able to check everything up. We are still going to water. Ooh. Okay, I've got an idea. Yeah. What we're going to go ahead and do is store a water walk. All right. There. So arm it. Go over to the edge. Dash. And instead of hopping in, we are going to go ahead and just walk this out normally. We're going to do this part normally. Here. Basically, it's where do we want to run? How do we want to run? Do we want to run, be able to walk on water from here or another point? But yeah, especially since this just came into logic, I think we make our water checks as they come up. And there's our water walk. Oh, hold on. There we go. We do want to avoid the big puddles at this point. But as you can see, we can now run on water. Oh, okay, piece of heart. Good. Right, we are going to lose it here. But that's because we can swim. So, water walking is much more logic breaking if you don't have the flippers. And it can be good or bad. There's the moon pearl, so this was logic. And we get a red goo. So hey, we will take that. We're good with that. At this point, we probably do need to start taking a look at, and just arrows there, so out on that. Skip out on that, that's fine. Actually, let's go ahead and... There we go. Okay, so Hera... Desert. Okay, so Eastern's a crystal. Hera's going to be a crystal. Okay, so we've got... Let's go to Sasserola's. Yeah, let's go to Sassy place next. It's 3 items plus, or desert next. We do desert. That kind of funnels us up into... Yeah, let's check out desert next. It's going to be a little bit of a risk. Take chances, make mistakes, get messy. Take chances, make mistakes, get messy. It's okay. Because what we're gonna go ahead and do is see if we can get Dark World access. There's 300 rupees there. It's good to know. That's good to know. But we're not gonna need money for the rest of this. The last thing that we need is 110 for pod. If we need pod. If we need pod. Alright. Nothing there. So yeah, we're gonna be next going to Sassy's. Sassy's Closet. And Eastern area will have our progression. It will have progression of some kind, whether that's lamp or power glove. Power glove is probably more likely at this point with the item set. If it's lamp, then that we still need at least one more thing before we have Aga access. So that's why I don't think it'll be that, unless, you know, it's like right here. Money, money, arrows. Okay, so we do have to go into Eastern. But we are fully in logic. So that's the good news. That is good news in this case. Go. So what is going to be in Eastern? Will it be a glove? Well, glove or lamp will give a lot of access. We cannot complete Eastern as is, though. We are missing... Oh, that's a lucky cannon pattern. We are missing a bow. There's the big key. Yeah, unlike some of the unlike Invrosia that we did, we'll have the big keys in their respective dungeon. Always good. All right, one of my favorite things for randomizer, one of the best ways to describe randomizer. Normally you have to go up another way, and there is Power Glove. We got the big key. We've gotten items so far. If we can see if we're... Let's see how lucky we can get item-wise in here. Because if it turns out bow's in here, or some other progression... There we go. Did get item 1. All right. Item 2. We might be lucky and at least get all 3 items in logic. All right, so much for luck. All right, we will be able to do this in the dark, so I'm not too worried about that. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's a box shape, that room, so that's how I knew how to get in there and how to get around in there. There we go. Item 3. Okay, so that was all 3 items, for better or for worse. But let's go ahead and go into Dark World. Let's go ahead and refill up on health, because Dark World is going to be pretty dangerous for us. We have the hammer and glove, so we're going to put our access this way. We're going to be doing the full loop. Also, Thieves Town is 100% in logic and accessible, so we're going to be playing the how useful is it game. We don't know our pendant crystals, and there are 2 pendants in Dark World. Five dungeons will be crystals. Go, let's get that magic drop though. Go ahead and get that magic drop, and let's get some info. All right. All right, so swamp, ice, and are the special ones. Good news is Thieves Town is going to be in logic, and it's going to be needed. We're going to go ahead and do at least some of the ones over here just to get them out of the way. All right, so Skull Woods is open as well. So this is why, because now we've got more of an incentive to go north and do Skull Woods at this point. After let's do Thief. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and do. We're gonna grab our bomb back. Apparently, we're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and start with Skull Woods. From Skull Woods, we'll end up going south instead, and this is to double check on what is on Bumper Ledge. Bumper Ledge, just a piece of heart. Oh, we do not need that. That will be not necessary for our quest. But I'd rather know that now instead of, like, later. Let's see. We'll be able to rush the back, so I think we go ahead and we'll check out what's up here first. Yeah, let's just go ahead and let's rush the back. But we also don't know what we are going to walk it out because, again, we want to be a bit cautious. We're going to skip out on that. We're going to see where we're at item-wise. Got 2 possibilities. We could potentially have both items back here, and then we just do that, and we're good. We're golden. Dash. Good to see that the blue ones. I'd say the more magic we can preserve, the better. More magic we can preserve, the better. And the more hearts we can preserve, the better, too. This is not going to be our best. It's not. There's no way anything at this point is going to be our best fight, but Ow. Yeah, not great. Nope. Here's the good news. Here's the good news. Even if we swing our hammer so many different ways, we can still beat that. Skullwood's down. We needed a total of, what, 9? Yeah, I'm glad that we had that potion. That's 1 item down. We are going to check the basement here. But that's why we rushed the back, relatively rushed the back. Because anytime that we don't spend in the front, or anytime that we're not just desperately looking for items, it's going to be a good time. Could be the item 2's right here, and then it wasn't. We'll just go ahead and get KO'd. And fine. This will end up being a time save, honestly. This is intentional. This is intentional. We've gotten 1 item. Good on magic, so we will go ahead and yeah. Good on magic, so we're gonna check what this chest is real quick. That's why we it's 4 slashes, but either way. Go. Big key. Big key is interesting. It is actually quicker to walk out if you know the hand had just dropped. Ow. All right. But no matter what we do not. Now we can die. We can die if we want. Want to, we can. Still rather not, but item 2. Item 2. Actually, let's just go ahead and take a death now. This is intentional. This is 100% intentional. Oh no, how could we have done this? So anyways, here's the same room. Basically the goal of that is to get us back to more hearts, because we still need to survive the Dark World. Taking damage in the Dark World will hurt. If we die in the Dark World, we start back at Link's house, so that's bad. Let's go ahead and do now. We got 4 different items available. The key is guaranteed in one of the first 4 checks. All right, and small key. It's not ideal, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot because we've got the hammer. Hammer means that we can full clear to the dungeon. There is one spot that requires things. Item 1. There's item 1. There's item 2. Not what we're looking for, but it's item 2. We're gonna get bonsai buddied. No, we're not. Dodged it. I'm gonna dodge the fire there too. All right, let's save the heart now. All right. We're just trying to sneak by here. At this point, our goal here is just to be able to not do that. There we go. Honestly, I'll take it. I'll take it. At the very least, don't die until we bomb up here. At the very least. Also, don't get hit by crickets because they will do too harsh damage. So I will take a little bit of time, and now that I know that they can drop hearts. There we go. All right, that was that item 3. Might have been, yeah, that was item 3, which is also good info. Yeah, that's right. It was a piece of heart. So item 3. So one more item. We might be able to bypass. Okay, I don't know how we dodged that one. Item 3. That's good. See what our sound prize is. Not really much to him to write about. There we go. There we go. Because we're at 3, we still need to make these checks. We still do need to do these checks until we are satisfied that we've gotten 4 items. All right, 4th item's on blind. Dodge around. All right, I am glad that we saved that 1 heart, just from a logistics perspective. All right. And get out to the ready. Why not? Time for you to go on a blind date. Okay, let's see how well can we stick to script. Actually really clean. It wasn't blind script, but that was as good as I've done that. All right, so now we go south and clear up that part of the world. Now we go down here. Sure, let's just take a little bit of damage. That's fine. Did I mention how many pieces of heart there are in the world? We've already gotten a couple. We've gotten a couple. All right. Next up is going to be, because we can't do Smith Chain. Can't do Smith Chain. So what we'll go ahead and do is dig game. Basically into Hype Cave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Yeah. Didn't actually want to do that, but I did it, so we'll live with it. We might have... Actually, it's not the end of the world, honestly. All right. So next, let's check out Stumpy. The good news is kind of what we're going to be doing here is just getting a cavalcade of items. Getting some mad cash from Stumpy. All right, next up, let's go ahead and do... next up is going to be Hype Cave. Actually, I'll take that overall result. All right, and Hype Cave. There are 5 items in here. How many of them will be good? I'm guessing 1. 1 trackable item. No. No. That counts. I will take Master Sword. Happily. So then, do we go to Pod? We can't do Pod. I think it depends on what's going to be on. I think we will continue in here. We will continue in Dark World. We will continue in the Dark World. Not exactly a lucky bomb placement, but okay, let's get our hook shot speed. And 300 we'll skip out on. We don't need more money. Or rather, the only thing that money could really do for us. Avoid Pod for now. Yeah, let's avoid Pod for right this exact second. This check's a little bit more isolated. But I think it's going to be, of the ones like this one, we will be able to get to Pod a little bit quicker. Right, got a bonk. There we go. Yeah, I think at this point we go ahead and do... I think after this we will go ahead and go back to Light World. That wasn't anything to write home about. Next up, Pod is next logically. Pod's our next spot for some semblance of logic, and it's probably going to be Lamp. Oh, whoa. Before we do that, there are 2 items in Escape still. There are still 2 items in Escape. So before we go gallivanting along our merry way, before we go off gallivanting, what we get here? Now, all right, the heart, bombs, and confirming. Okay. All right, so that does actually finish that off. Turn to our house. I sort of want to put off Pod a little bit, not for too much longer, just because there's a chain that we can do in logic if items work out. However, we do not have anything on our potion. We don't have any potion, so we cannot potion glitch at this point. But we can get a vanilla flute, so we will do that instead. And that was actually something I was sort of waiting to see, like, if that would turn up. And that does give us progression. So I like that. I like that a lot better. I do like that overall turnaround better. Also, that is vanilla. In the regular game, in regular Link to the Past, that is where you find the flute. So we swing and flute. Let's go up to mountain. We're at 6 hearts. We can do this. Go. There we go. There we go. By using the, because we're walking in the dark, I'm using the sparkles to guide my way through the maze. It's at least a pretty well-defined maze at the end of the day. Like, it's very, very doable. And hey, we'll take that. Let's go ahead and do a quick, go ahead and top up on health, by the way. Harrison Logic. So Harrison Logic. You're going to start by going this way. And that's especially where, like, the spin speed really comes into play. Tiny shield up there. We are capped at 1 shield, by the way. That is one of the other open hard characteristics. There. Not want to warp into the dark world at this point because we don't have a way to get back to the light world yet. Not without a mirror. And logically we can't do Spike Cave. I mean, logic is a suggestion more often than not, but we don't have any potion, so it's also not feasible. Not without some sort of invincibility item. Invincibility item does put it in logic. Nothing really right there. All right, we do have sword beam, so we will be able to just stick with hook shot and what we got. What we get here? A bunch of pieces of heart, and there's our first medallion. And that was empty. That was very empty. Ah, shoot. That's okay. We are trying to do a bomb jump. Bomb jump is basically a way you can carefully execute it so that you can cross various gaps. That's one of them. There is also, I think we do Hera first so that we don't have to do much reclimbing. Okay. There. Yeah, we can full clear Hera, which is one of our 5/6 crystals. So, and we're pretty much getting shunted into either here or pod. But pod, we can't really do much without bow. I thought we could do that. We do have... Not really how I wanted to use the magic, but... This? Okay. There we go. Parapot. You can clip yourself into that pot. You can clip yourself in and basically, like, skip to the end of the dungeon. Ah, right, shoot. I knew that. Knew that. Item 1. Have... Our ideal situation is that the big key is... Or that the second item is, like, right here. Oh, hey, we got our clip there. Nice. That's going to be the ideal. And welcome to Moldorm, who's a jerk. That was a slash. Oh, come on. There we go. It's like just while he's angry, he if you get knocked off, here's the thing. And that is item 2. We made the right call. While we're on the mountain, let's do more things on the mountain. And that worked out nicely, actually, because now we can go ahead and finish off almost everything. Still don't have enough hearts to be able to do Spike Cave. That's the main thing. But we can do Spiral Cave. Spiral Cave, yeah, we've got the next 2 minutes of routing tackled. Go team. All right, so the Spiral Cave is great with boots. Another piece of heart there. Okay, and now let's go to the Dark World. Let's go up, not from down here, but let's go from down up here. Let's see what we need for. There are 2 ways to Dark Death Mountain. One is from below, and one is from here. But considering we've got all the equipment needed, we might be able to pop open Portal Rock. Now, we can't do anything in there. We are missing some required items. But might as well see. All right, we need Bombos. All right, so if we needed Quake, we would be opening that right now. But alas. All right, let's go ahead and get the 4 in here. And there's the bow. We can now do a couple things out of logic. There's a shield. Hey, it's another piece of heart. Okay, so we made the right call doing this. With that bow, we will be able to complete Eastern, and out of logic, we could do Pod at this point. We're still missing Lamp. Lamp could be in Pod. We can get through a lot more of the dungeon, though. Okay. That's a save and quit spot. Do there. Let's go to Sank. Let's check one. Let's do one check, but we are going to prepare our flute. We are going to go ahead and check King's Tomb. Right over here. There we go. But yeah, after this, I think we go ahead and fly. Oh, let's see what we need for Mire, actually. But we'll actually fly to the Mire area instead. There's a decent chance that we already have, like, that we've got Mire access. We won't be able to complete it, though, not without the Canis Samaria. Canis Samaria is required. Double Bombos. Okay, that's good. That's good knowledge. This is another save and quit spot, by the way. Right, and powder. Giving a little bit more value to Smith Chain. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and get some blue goo. Yeah, we've got plenty of money for potions. Oh, let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. All right, 5. Yeah, because we had already gotten all three. So, because Eastern, if we need to fly back to do it, that's fine. We had already gotten all three items out. So, there's nothing else to get in Eastern. Aside from the crystal. We need the crystal, don't get me wrong. But... Hi, Kiki. Thank you for being able to run with us. Thank you for running with us. So Lamp puts everything in logic. Lamp puts this in logic, at least. Our mountain stuff was 100% logical, which honestly is good. Without the mirror, we will be doing a bit of walking, but that's okay. Flippy's just getting the steps in. So a key, so we will be able to continue. We would have been able to continue, but unlike regular seeds, we have non-progressive bows. Without progressive bow, like, we could have gotten a bow in here if silvers are in here. Instead, however, we have compass, so we will continue down. Keep bombs out for now. Yeah, I think that was guaranteed. Bomb. Let's get bow to the ready, rather. All right, and let's get ready to get 4 in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have hammer, so we can do a... Sure, let's roll with that. That works. Okay, with that, I think that actually puts center back in play. That puts center in play with that. Let's try that again. Let's just reset the room. That's fine. Oh. Sure. It's a death warp. It is just a death warp at all. That wasn't what we were planning to do. That was not intended. But it's also not the end of the world that we did it. Boom. And down. Let's see. I don't think this is going to be key for key. Actually, it shouldn't be a key for... I think this is an actual something. It's the big key. All right. I think that is... Logically... Is that where the big key usually is, anyway? Either way. Let's go up this way. Either way... Kind of a nice little spin there to propel us. Ow. Docking. Oh, right. We don't have to worry about hitting any switches there. Let's get bombs to the ready. There we go. All right, 1 key. That was likely to be key. If we get 1 key down here, we will do Harmless Hellway. There we go. Sure. This is fully in logic, by the way. Oh, and there's Ice Rod. All right. Ice Rod's good. We are key for key, so just the map. Meaning this is going to be interesting. All right, book. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're not where we think we are. Yeah. Okay. Map could be on the boss. There we go. Map is not on the boss. All right, now for the toughest part. Because basically our only other option would be to try to walk our way out. There we go. We're gonna end up walking it out. I have no idea where we are. Wait, there we go. There we go. Made it out. Okay, here's what we'll do. No, no, come on. Here's the good news. We've got Fire Rod at least, so we would be able to do... Okay, so let's start off with that. Start off with that. We're going to have 7 hearts to go into here, so... We'll see. We're hoping to be able to pick up a couple more. Not in a enviable position. The other place hurts. But we are definitely at in a let's not take unnecessary damage. Let's not take unnecessary damage. As we approach the 1 hour mark, yep. There we go. That's not golden. Not golden. Okay. That's fine. There we go. Now we can see. Now we can see. It's amazing how much a little bit of vision helps. Amazing how much that helps. Okay, yep, we got that. All right. And King Helmasaur. 3, 4, 17 bops on his noggin. There we go. All right, that was out of logic, technically, I think, but doable. I'm honestly surprised we made it out of the maze, that we survived the things. That is 5, 6 available to us. That's 5, 6 available to us. We don't really want to touch ice yet. I think next up, let's go ahead and do... IRTR we can't do. We can't do... So the thing is, we can't do any more... Can't do any more... Oh, let's double check. Let's just double check something. Go mode, we need Cana Samaria. We need Cana Samaria, and we need Bombos. And technically, we also need Lamp. Lamp hasn't cropped up yet. Lamp cannot be... There are a couple places it cannot be. But... there are places where it could be. I make things go triple boom. Ped's dead. Okay, good. Good. It's like one of those things where it's like... It sucks knowing that Ped is something, but I'd rather learn now instead of much later. That's basically the thinking there. We already did everything in Swamp. Yeah, I think this is gonna end up being Smith Chain here. I think this is gonna be Smith Chain. So let's start off with doing, although we are gonna start off with doing hammer pegs. Because we don't have mirror, there's not really a great time to do this aside from unless, yeah, 6 one way, half a dozen another. This will allow us to immediately save and quit after picking up. This will allow us to immediately save and quit after picking up. Yeah, I am suspicious. I am suspicious about Ice Palace. Ice Palace Desert. I guess good news, Ped wouldn't really be in play without Mirror. That would have been that was the only saving grace. But of all the same graces, you know, there could be better ones. But we are an hour 4 in. We are 4 crystals in. At some point, we could go ahead and do Eastern. And it's trackable. And it is a Gibdo stun, I guess. It just wasn't quite what we were looking for. But let's go ahead and see what we got on Magic Bat. Five, 6 is out of logic. Doesn't mean it's not something, though. All right, but yeah, I think we got to start hitting up some pendant dungeons. Other possibility. There is another possibility. It could be Ether Tablet. I think we'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and finish off Smith Chain. Go ahead and finish off Smith Chain and use that to lead into... Because, like, we can do... Again, we can do Eastern anytime. Anytime we can do Eastern. We should do it sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later, but otherwise we got this. This will be another save and quit spot. We have that. Yeah, I think let's go desert first. Go desert first. Because that can be a quick couple. All right, here we go. We made the right call. Or of all the calls we made. Actually, let's check out Tablet while we're literally right here. Okay, here's what we do. I think we still follow this because that did give us... here's the problem. That actually did give us Ped. Now, the good news is we know Ped's dead. We know Ped's dead. But there are a lot of items. There are a lot of items in those dungeons that are represented by pendants. There we go. Do a couple mirror checks first. That's not a great one. But hey, at least we got magic again. We still don't have access. Yeah, we don't have access to Meyer or TR. So the good news is because we are completely locked out. Oh, and now we do have actually nice quick access to desert. So I think we go ahead and do desert next. 2 items. Hopefully it's pretty quick as well. Wrong red thing. Yeah, pretty quick. We don't need any more money, so yeah, we are just on the lookout now for those 2. Love to be able to find a third sword. Third sword makes the rest of the game pretty easy. Get hook shot to the ready. And let's see what we can scrounge out in here. Big key. Big key at least has been in logic like the entire seed. Boots. Boots were over in our house at the very beginning of the game. Like, we got boots so early. There's lamp. Okay, so we are in logic now for everything. Book. Book was... All right, and that is item 1 at least. Yep. That's where key had to be. Let's see if we can scrounge out second item, then I'm happy. Item 2. Perfect. We do not need to finish this dungeon. Okay, so with lamp, It puts Pod in play, and it does also put Eastern finally into logic. Eastern is now in logic. I think what we'll go ahead and do is mirror. Right, it was on. Right. After 5-6, let's do 5-6 real quick. Now that it's logical. Now that it's in logic. And then after this, we will go ahead and do Eastern. We'll use that Eastern time to think about what do we want to do next. It is purely for what next. Also with the advantage of we will be able to complete it very quickly. Eastern we can do on 4 hearts. Eastern we can do on 4 hearts. There we go. Also, hey, let's see what we get magic wise. All right, so that wasn't anything. Okay. We'll take a fairy in a bottle. You know, in a pinch. In a pinch, maybe we should walk over there. There we go. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and do Eastern and just finish that off. After Eastern, we've got some decisions to make. Ice will be slow. Ice would be slow because we do not have we don't have cane, so we can't do that. There are more items in Swamp. I think what we go ahead and do, and yeah, we had gotten all the. We'll just have to deal with the heart beeps. But considering we can do this, well, I would say, well, we can do this damage list, but the nature of us gaining beeps in here kind of proves that to be a lie. This is a double dip, but it was reasonable, I'd say. All right, there we go. Yeah, there are no more items in here anyway, so. See, there we go. We're fine. We're fine. Heckboard's nothing. K45. I think we do K45 into Swamp. The other thing is, Swamp could turn out to be. Swamp is worth an additional item, so can't remember. I can never remember. Wake up. There we go. Actually, that works out pretty nicely. All right, let's go ahead and do some Armos Knights. Uh-oh. Oh. There we go. Not a quick kill. Not a quick kill, but it's done. Nothing. That's nothing. Let's go ahead and just tick off everything else that we know it's not. Clean up things. Also, funnily enough, Spy Cave is not technically in logic yet. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do K45 first. K45 first, and then got a fairy. Let's do swamp first. We might end up changing out that fairy for a blue potion. If it turns out that we ended up needed, yeah. But, well, I guess fairy's out of the bag. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so after this, yeah, let's go ahead and do swamp. Swamp. How much am I feeling? Bomb. How much am I feeling bomb escape or bomb diver down? That's gonna be the question. Got plenty of bombs for it. Got plenty of bombs for it. Let's see if we can make it a moot point. See if we can make it a moot. Welcome to Green Pendant. Actually, we will pick up those arrows, having recently burned through almost all of them. Almost all of them. There are 6 items, though. Here, that's not one of them. Not the worst thing to see. Still don't want to be taking unnecessary damage, though. Not current. Like, it would feel bad dying in a crystal dungeon. Feels worse dying in a pendant. Especially when we know we will be taking full damage from everything. Yeah. That was to save ourselves some trouble right there. I think after this, about what we want to do. We haven't gotten any item yet. Other thing we could do is just rush the back. We could rush the back, grab the green pendant and all the items along the way. Maybe that's what we'll do instead. We'll come back in for Diver Down. That'll also give us a better sense of what left side swamp will end up being. Okay. Not the worst. That does guarantee 1 item. Does guarantee 1 item. So I guess we are doing this, huh? That was actually exactly how you do it. So that's Bomb Diver Down, by the way. That was exactly how they draw it up, apparently. Okay, 2 items on left side swamp. 2 items left side. Get hook shot to the ready. Yeah, it is a little weird. You know, we are still 2 items from go mode. At about the 120-minute mark. A little bit of we've hit a bit of a slog, basically. We'll find it. There we go. That's what we were trying to do that entire time, by the way. Worst comes to worst, we can. There we go. Oh. There we go. There we go. And down. Everything else is going to be item. We will be coming back in. We are going to pick that up, though. Because in total, that will be... yeah, total, that's going to be 7 items that we will be able to fish out of here. So we'll go back in, do left side swamp. We will turn in green pendant. Canis Samaria. We need the Canis Samaria for either, but we need Canis Samaria even access Yar. I think we turn this in and then we go to ice. We got to do this vanilla now. We got to do this part in the vanilla fashion because we don't have a key to flood to be able to dive her down on. Go. We just didn't want sword beams. And isn't it like usually if you jump on something, like it just makes it go away? Isn't that how it usually works? All right. Back. Switch there. Get a couple more clicks for good measure. All right. What is on left side swamp? Apparently, also, we just need to, if we did bomb diver down, we probably actually could have done this go. But it's one of those where if you mess up and you really can't get it, it is a slog to be able to get into a recoverable state. That's why I don't feel too bad skipping it if we got 1-0'd. All right, what do we got here? Mushroom, okay, fetch quest. All right, so the mushroom is our next play. Mushroom is our next thing, at least. Mostly because it's like right here. And we need a bottle anyway. We were gonna have to come here anyway for a bottle thing. All right, Canis Samaria, show us sword. Okay, we'll take it. All right. Next up is Sassy. Let's see if we did end up getting any advantage for thing. Keep on running from that guard. There we go. Get our feed. And that was just for a boomerang. So that was not an entire waste of time. Like, the sword will make this next play a lot nicer. However, this is almost a last locate for us. Almost a last location. There are 2 more spots on the map. There are 2 more spots on the map. Also, by the way, we will be doing Ice Palace bomb jump. Also, that's not where we want to waste our magic. Four hearts. I feel pretty good about Ice Palace Bomb Jump. Hold on, I will pick up that though. All right, here we go. This is bad. Not great, but it got done. There are 3 items in here, by the way. All right, so right, we don't have Canis Maria, so we can't see things. Can't do fancy things. That's fine. We got 5 parts to play with. All right, we're going to be concentrating a little bit here. All right. All right. All right. Okay, there we go. Slow and steady. That's fine. First try. Yeah, we'll pick up that heart. And we're golden. So, Ice Palace Bomb Jump. It's going to end up saving us some time if we do need to do Cold Stare. Alright. Yeah, we don't have any keys, so we will have to go... Don't really know the best route through here, unfortunately. Don't have things. Do not have the big key. Don't have the big key. Ow. Okay. Okay. We are still hunting for... We are still on the hunt. In a pinch, by the way, we can turn that into magic. Or fairies, rather. We can turn that into hearts. There we go. All right. There we go. There's big key. Now we gotta do this entire loop. Yeah, we go this way. Yeah, so this is actually hookshot locked also. The whole thing is hookshot locked. We're doing basically the vanilla dungeon, except for the whole, like, bopping. Oh, hey, bomb. Nice. We have not yet gotten any items out, either. Yeah. The good news is we're down to small keys. Down to small keys, and we're down to, items. And this game really is not wanting us to find anything in ice. This is going to be Canis Maria, isn't it? Of course it is. All right, well, there's Kane. That actually does not unlock anything, but it does guarantee if we find Bombos, we're in go mode. Find Bombos, we're in go mode. That was item 1, though. Item 2. All right. Item 2. I think we have to do cold stare at this point. I think we have to do cold stare. No, actually we bail. That was item 3. Yeah, that was item 3. Where? We're down to Ether and Graveyard Ledge. Let's do Graveyard Ledge first. We are down to 2 locations. Like, we're down to 2 locations. 130 set at the 131 mark. We are not in go mode quite yet. We're very close. We are, once we find Bombo's medallion, we will be able to enter and complete the remaining 2 crystal dungeons. But we checked out desert, we checked out swamp, we checked out ice. And this is honestly a spot where I'm glad that we checked head. Otherwise, we would have done cold stare. All right. And go mode. Okay, so we did need to go into ice. So of all the... It could have been worse. It could have been worse, but we're in go mode. We've got blue goo. We've got silver arrows, so at least Mire will be pretty chill. Mire will be as chill as it can be. There we go. We're in go mode at the 130, about the 132 mark. So let's finish off the seed, shall we? We don't have sword beams. Fine. Yeah, so it was an interesting seed overall, definitely. Definitely kind of slugged down at the very end there. Ooh, fairy. Ooh, fairy. All right, 2 items, but we're more in this for the Mire Big Key. If we find the Mire Big Key, we will skedaddle and rush to the back. Actually, there is nothing. The only thing that could potentially help is invincibility, an invincibility item. Like that one. That's an example of what I mean. All right. Actually, we're even going to use it right here. All right. That was a key, though. So we still have 1 item. So there's still 1 item, and there's still the big key. Up in here. Lamp to the ready. Because this gives us info. This gives us information. Item 2. Okay, so let's come back out this way. All right, so that is second item. So regardless, like once we find the big key, we're good. All right, let's arena. I'm just trying to avoid cutscene if I can. Sure, let's do it. We're just gonna go. We're going the long way. It's fine. There we go. All right. So if it's not here, then it is cutscene chest. It was here. I'm glad we didn't do cutscene. Go. We don't really need fair. We're good on hearts. We're good on hearts. Oh, actually, it's like, hold on. Let's actually pick that up because it will save us going back down that way. Good. All right, we did hit the switch, so we will need to hit it over here. And we use the lamp, so we do not have access to spooky action. That's fine. That's fine. There we go. Just wanted to make sure that we had some distance. There are some little mites that will come out of that hole. There's like 2 spots in the world where that will happen. That's one of them. All right. We're fine on health, so let's just go ahead and get silvers to the arrow ready. Because at least we found silver arrows. Because now this fight is going to be a blink and you miss it. Okay, well, we were doing fine. We were actually we were down to our last hit, actually. That's crystal 6. We saved our potion, at least. And that is crystal number 6. Last up is going to be Turtle Rock. And then after Turtle Rock, we go to Ganon's Tower. Also, funnily enough, with that Canaberna, my cave finally became actually in logic. It was completable before. It was completable before, but not really. So that was as good a pattern as you can get for right there. We do need to walk it all the way up. Because we have not opened up Turtle Rock because we just got the thing. We had just gotten the thing. You know, the thing. Don't need, yeah. Net, we're, right, we don't have. Right, net is not going to be picked up today. We're not going to go back and defeat all right, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I am kind of glad that we at least got that in that order, like Canis Samaria first, because we were still locked out of the 2 crystal dungeons, so we weren't tempted to go into Mire and faff around just to find out that nothing there. Turned out there was nothing there. So we enter, hold on, we're entering at 139. I'm curious how long this goes with go mode. We're still going to be basically checking every chest, but that's more of a function of the dungeon itself. That's out of necessity, and that's where Gold Sword would have been. That's where Gold Sword would have been. But in this particular game mode, Open Hard Plus, you can only pick up one. You can only pick up 3 swords. 4th sword will turn into a green 20. we'll be able to get some. Go ahead and that. That's actually good. Fine. It's also fine that we're out of magic because, hey, we found magic. I will say, Turtle Rock is pretty good at making sure. Well, on one hand, it's good for making sure that you can get magic. On the other hand, it's also very dangerous. This is going to be a all right, wait, those. All right. I think we should, let's go ahead and get powder to the ready. Powder to the ready. Gotten so many pieces of heart though. Like, there are only 5 heart containers in this entire seed. There are 48 heart pieces. We've intentionally skipped a good number of them. And we're still 4 full hearts from max. Correction. Shoot. Shoot. Hold on. Hold on. One quick tick. Please hold. So anyway. So then I started blasting. All right, we did already get the big keys, so we can go ahead and skip that chest. And that's why, by the way, that's why that's so important right there. Powder. Powder made that room. Otherwise, I would have had to burn my blue potion. All right. Taking a little bit of a risk here. We're taking a little bit of a risk that small key, about the location of small key. We're good. We're golden. We will be able to skip Laser Bridge. And I think we will, in interest of time. Yeah. All right. A little bit of a hit there. That's fine. The good news is we know where there's going to be, and we want to not have sword beams for this next part. We do want to avoid sword beams. So actually skip out on that. Ready. Avoid the pokey there. We will still grab this heart here because it's like literally right there. All right. This is going to be about 5 minutes. Dungeon. Five hits. 1. There we go. There we go. You're a little high up. I don't think I'll be able to get the double spin off. But spin 3 slashes, that's plenty. All right. And that is the 7th crystal, and it just happens to be that. Another piece. So next up is Ganon's Tower. Overall, about 6 minutes. We lost a decent amount of time trying to snag that one key. That's fine. We'll be fine. We're fine. All right, here we go. Get into Ganon's Tower. Where do you think the Ganon's Tower big key is going to be? In a live stream, and by the way, I do stream live on SorcererFinch, twitch.tv/SorcererFinch. We do a couple of races as well. And for those, if you guess the correct number of checks, you get gifted a sub. All right, guess 1, 2. Perfect. Actually, perfecter. Not quite. There we go. First try. We check number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna go ahead and get a small key from here. Oh, that was a little bit too high. Check 6 so far. Seven is gonna be a piece of heart. Even though we don't pick it up, it still counts. Still counts. So that was what, 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. All right, so that was, what did we say, 11? Bonking is the best way to get across. At 11. Got what 12 is. 12. And leave a bomb. Go get the switch so that we can leave this little tail kind of spot. Gotten 12. Oh, 13. Not 13. Fine, let's go ahead and do rando room. Next room is actually one that, unless you do randomizer, it's very easy to miss. As you go into the here, let's say 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so 16 was the answer. Let's finish off the game. Pretty deep. If we had gone like left all the way first, we would have gotten it quicker. Overall, definitely wasn't the slowest of possibilities though, time-wise. Okay. All right, news about silver arrows. Go. All right, let's go ahead and work on running. Oh. Yeah, we messed that. We just messed up that timing entirely. Oh well. Fine, we're fine. We're golden. We do have silver arrows, so maybe we go ahead and actually keep those out. For this gauntlet. So welcome to the gauntlet. Why is it called the gauntlet, you may ask? Well, it's funny you should ask. There we go. Oh, geez, you're just cruising along, aren't you? Missed it, but we also got to dodge the goal of this part, at least, is now speed. It's now speed. Also, don't die. Ooh, that was not the direction I thought that the Moldorm there was going to be going. All right. There we go. There we go. We're pretty good on resources, actually. Let's just go ahead up and continue. That was the majority of the gauntlet. Now is for some satisfying Wizrobe kill rooms. Because Wizrobes will do a lot of damage. They will do a heck of a lot of damage. They're also very squishy. Like, even that will take them down. Clockwork room. All right, we will need to get some magic here. That's fine. Because we can do that. All right, we got 2 keys, so we can continue through the rest. Because with randomizer, and keeping in mind, and that's where half magic would have been, by the way. That magic pot is where that would have gone. Oh, we didn't get knocked off. Honestly, it's the little things in life. We did not get knocked off by Moldorm this time. And 5 rupees. All right, so we're overall pretty well equipped, honestly, for this. Pretty well equipped. Let's go ahead and defeat Aghanim, beat Ganon, and cross the finish line. Patterns going. Only a single. 6 hits is what it takes. 2. Three. Not getting great patterns. 4, 5. Okay, we might have a little bit of fun with that. But that is Aghanim down. Turns out that Ganon was Aghanim the entire time. Who would have thunk it? After, you know, for a game that came out in 1991, 1992. Speaking of Ganon, go beat him, shall we? All right. We're looking pretty good overall, at least. All right, here we go. Why rule over a desert full of stereotypes when I can corrupt a world into pure evil and rule over that instead? Actually, that was a good... 6. Ow. I still want to be a little cautious here. I don't know what that was all about. Okay, heal up. Nope, we gotta heal up. That's stage 1, by the way. That was phase 2, rather. All right, we're good. Now we're golden. Very quick phase 3 so far. That was a perfect phase 3. Oh no, silver, my one true weakness. Ow. Okay, that was about as bad as that could have gone. There we go. There we go. Ganon down. 4 silvers. We raise our sword in the air. It looks like you're trying to finish Link to the Past Randomizer. Would you like help with that? And done. And that is GG. That is sub 2 hours. Powder yourself to the go mod. The go mode. All right. Well, that was not too bad, actually. It's a good sign for me personally, for my level of running. When it's under 2 hours, that's a good sign. There were parts that there were some good and some bad. So one of that was, and one of those was, we did Swamp instead of Ice Palace. The only advantage we got out of that was having Tempered Sword, which wasn't bad, but we would have gotten Tempered Sword in Turtle Rock anyways. Now, it was nice to have Tempered Sword for Meyer, but we didn't need it against Vitreous. So overall, that was overall a time loss. Now, Ice Palace being as early as open as it was, and that was where one of our pieces of go mode was overall. We did a lot of last locating, unfortunately. The good news was we did stick pretty closely to logic, and that I think that did pay off a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, no, I can't say that. We did pod out of logic. We did pod out of logic. But them's the breaks, and we did get at least, yeah, fungus for some slasher. So this is the aforementioned sword. That's the aforementioned sword that we did get. Gonna be curious how folks ended up getting, because I think most everyone doing the seed will end up with Tempered Sword. Just because Fighter Sword was Kakariko Village. Second sword was Hype Cave, and yeah, third sword would have been DR, which was required. So yeah, it was a brief advantage. It was just a brief advantage, guys. But that being said, our choices for like Skull Woods, I think choices like rushing Skull Woods, I think that paid out. That did pay out time wise. Thieves Town paid out. When we did things and the things that we did that did break logic, I think that maybe that's more what it was. Things that broke logic that we did sort of pay out a bit. There wasn't a whole lot that we did out of logic. The lamp being the most out of the way thing. Actually, where was that lamp? That was lamp desert or was it swamp? Actually, if it was swamp, yeah, it was swamp. So that did put things back into logic. That's what it was. And the explosions. Fortunately, we knew that it was explosions. We did check pedestal, so that meant that we were not tempted to finish desert or to finish ice palace. Like when we already had all the items out, we could just skedaddle. Different calculation for swamp palace. Sorry, did I say? Sorry, for ice and desert. For ice and desert, it meant that we could just bail. For swamp palace, it's a little bit different because that would have been an extra item by completing that dungeon. With that being the green pendant, total of 7 items is pretty hard to pass up. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we did we did end up last locating a lot of items. I'm just glad Meyer, we guessed the correct direction. We could have been a little bit more efficient, but we were just looking for info for one of the checks. Because in Meyer, there's a set of 2 rooms on the left where those torches were. If the room above that with the spikes and the stalfos and the chest, if that one's a small key, then you have to go south and through there because that is guaranteed to be the big key location. The way that randomizer works is it'll shuffle around the items in a way that if you used keys in the least efficient way, you would still be able to complete the dungeon. Now, if you do something like break logic, that's something where it's like that can be more of your mileage may vary. But the way to recover from that, and I'm more thinking about Swamp Palace. There is a way to get kicked out of Swamp Palace, keys wise. But that's if you're breaking logic and doing some fancy footwork and you burn a key and you just have to exit the dungeon, come back in, and then it'll reset that one room so that you can continue. The folks who made Links to the Past Randomizer and who preserved and fixed some of the bugs in the original version of the game, because there are a couple bugs like jingle glitch that the randomizer community hasn't had to worry about for over a year, almost 2 years actually. There are some ways where you can, like, if you go upstairs at the exact wrong time, you can actually despawn all enemies up above, including you need to be able to including Ganon, which means you get there and there's nothing to do. The important stuff: we got the first sword 8 minutes in. We got the Pegasus boots in our house 4 seconds in. Loot was 37 minutes in. That was a good find. We dug it up. Mirror 104, 37. We did Blind and Mothula with Fighter Sword, then 4 fights with the Master Sword, and then 4 fights with the Temple Sword, including Ganon and Ganon. We took a lot of damage. We took 1,700 damage. Now, of those 4 deaths, they were all pretty much intentional. That was the good news. Like, there weren't any like drat kind of deaths. 40 bonks, 14 saving quits, for an in-game time of 1 hour 55 seconds, and a collection rate of 168 of 216. That's a pretty high collection rate, but justified, I think, by everything. But if you liked what you watched, make sure to subscribe for more Link to the Past Randomizer, and I'll have a great rest of the day. Be sure to subscribe, watch me on Twitch. Yeah. Enjoy ALTTPR.com.